Good morning. It's going to be an increasingly windy Wednesday, but the strongest winds are expected to be tomorrow morning across northern Scotland. That is where we have a warning in force, and that is why we have named Storm Caroline for strong, potentially disruptive winds tomorrow of 70 to 80 miles an hour. More on that in just a moment. First of all, let's get back to the rest of today because the breeze will be picking up through the day. It's mostly going to be cloudy, but it will be remarkably mild. It's not dry everywhere. In the northwest of Scotland, we've got some outbreaks of rain. And here, actually, it's going to be a pretty blustery day. The wind's continuing to strengthen. Elsewhere, the winds will be picking up a little bit. But for most this morning, certainly across the south, the winds are still reasonably light. A lot of cloud around. Some drizzly showers in the west, but for most, it is dry. And there are some breaks in the cloud. We may well see a few holes developing, a little bit of sunshine poking through at times during the rest of Wednesday. But overall, it stays mostly cloudy and with those breezes continuing to strengthen. The direction of the wind is key. Coming up from the southwest, we'll see pretty mild air across us. So we're starting off well above freezing, and by this afternoon, we're looking at double digits in most places, maybe into the teens in one or two spots. But the cloud will continue to thicken further north and west, some showery rain at times for Northern Ireland and northwest England, and quite a wet day in western Scotland as the winds really start to pick up here. And the winds will strengthen further through this evening's rush hour, and the rain will be pepping up too across the northwest. Bands of potentially quite heavy rain overnight for Northern Ireland, western Scotland, then sweeping into western parts of England and Wales. And all the while, the winds will be strengthening. By the time we get to tomorrow morning, just look at this swirl here. This is the low pressure system that is Storm Caroline. Now, the storm itself heading just to the north of northern Scotland, but it's as they squeeze together these isobars that the winds really whip up during Thursday. That is our area of concern. Gusts of 70 to 80 miles an hour, possibly around coast, maybe even a bit more than that. These kind of winds likely to bring disruption to transport, airports, ferries, and also road and rail, and the potential for these kind of gusts of wind to cause some disruption to the power network. Now, Storm Caroline clears away in towards Scandinavia during Thursday. Behind that, well, the weather still remains pretty lively. We've got northerly winds set to bring a real chill. So we start off with mild southerly winds, and by Friday into the weekend, the winds are coming right down from the Arctic. A real change as we see frost and ice return as the cold air just drives its way right across the UK by the end of the working week. And yes, in some places there will be some snow around as well. We already have a warning in force for the potential for some snow on Friday, but before that we do have to contend with Storm Caroline and those very strong winds picking up especially across northern Scotland during Thursday. All the weather warnings on the Met Office website. Do please keep up to date with the forecast. We'll be keeping things regularly updated through our social media channels, and there's always more on our YouTube channels.